Welcome back. Karra and I are here to present another channeling session from the members of Ashtar Command on Hades Space. I am Russell Hatfield, and Karra is a higher dimensional member of the Command and an ambassador of Sirius. This session has been channeled by Mark Crocker and stands out for the clarity of the recording, and Ashtar is joining the session due to a previous request to ask some questions of him. This channeling session was recorded on August 29th of 1995 and is called Starting Off the News and Chakra Alignment. Here are my archivist notes of the session. It is said, with great power comes great responsibility. We say, with great knowledge also comes great responsibility. With the channeling session being posted for February, we get both, and that's just from Karra's topic when she speaks on side 2. Here are some notes that will explain some things not covered on the tape, starting with a guest joining me in asking questions. Her name is Linda, and she was a friend of mine I had known from my time in Sedona. She was supposed to come out west when I did, but turned her car around as we were leaving and stayed until this taping. She was to stay with us for a few weeks before moving on to the coast. The next note is that when T explains about the channeling sessions being moved, it is from the official channeling room to a copper pyramid set up in the backyard of Mark, T, and Kiri's apartment on the base, who were also having Teene over as a roommate for a while. When we go over the situation in Iraq, the first Gulf War had recently ended and the second was coming up in 2003. The note from Ashtar's time talking is that we had a simple webpage at the time and we were looking to expand the teaching to a newsletter for those unable to access the internet, which was still mostly on dial-up. It would also go to a friend who was with the Sedona Journal of Emergence and hopefully would be put into their publication. Old Small's notes are that this was the 4th time that Korton and Omal were meeting with Linda, with the first 3 being when both channeled through Roger Pinion, the channel who was holding sessions during our time in Arizona. He also brings up Mark's time as my brother in Atlantis when we tried to kill each other over avoiding viewpoints. We agreed this was us resolving our karmic past. Korton is the first speaker on side 2, and his notes from it are that the monitor he mentions is a 6-dimensional one we couldn't see placed in the room focused on Mark's body and our own copper pyramid. They could see us, but we could not see them. Also, Korton has a hobby of collecting old computers. His office on the base has a number on display. Kiri is the next speaker, and followers of the archives will recall the engineering project she assigned 3 of us down here, and the trip that she made to Sirius with Leonedies and Alex to see her grandmother in the monastery high up in the mountains. Karra's note is that she teaches an advanced form of a negative feedback loop that comes with a warning label. It can work too well, so we warn anyone interested in trying to start slowly. Finally, Tia brings up one of the architects of the Great Pyramid in Egypt. Followers of the archive will have already learned Mark was a part of that team, and Tia's teasing is just her being proud of her man. For a full transcript of this latest channeling session, please go to our main homepage at hadesbasednews.com. We invite you to subscribe to be kept informed of future postings on our YouTube channel from the members of Ashtar Command. We now present our latest entry into the Hades Base Archives, recorded in 1995, called Starting Off the News and Chakra Alignment.
Greetings, Linda.
Okay.
Reading sisters for this evening. I have my hi-hat and my whip and my tails and my bikini bottoms on.
How are you, my darling?
Fine.
Well, good to hear. So was my assessment of his timing just about right?
Off a little bit.
What was I off on? You didn't kiss the Kiri goodbye?
Not exactly, no.
The kids are waiting outside for him? They wake them up.
Pick them up and hug them and kiss them and then Kiri. Oh, okay, come on, let me come. Come on. Come on. Hey, okay.
It's been pretty fun last night, honestly.
And Kiri's will be in shortly. I think mouth-to-mouth resuscitation is the correct way to describe it. I don't know if he's giving you mouth-to-mouth.
Well, as I understand, thanks to Mark, that this is our last formal session for a little while.
That's correct.
What up?
And there's certain situations going on that need a closer link.
Like what?
Can't say. It's nothing to do with you guys. That's why we've been moved out and we've been put down on the priority list. So we have to have the portable set with a small monitor unit.
Okay.
As a compensation, we do have somebody that is well versed with our channeling sessions in the pyramid
Oh,
as a technician.
Teene.
Yes.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that'd be nice. Teene's a rejuvenated Syrian, some 300 years old, now looking just slightly younger than 18.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
has the mindset now of an 18-year-old, but all the stored knowledge of 300 years.
I understand that's supposed to happen to us.
In the future, I certainly
Mm-hmm.
look forward to it.
Yeah, but which one?
Ah,
There's the rub.
that's the question.
Mm-hmm.
So you looking forward to Shakespeare tomorrow, sweetheart?
Yes, very much so.
Have you studied up on Midsummer's Night Dream at all?
What is it, Midsummer's Night Wet Dream?
No, just the
Oh,
Titania and
yes, Titania. Puck.
yes, correct. And Bottom.
Yes.
Okay, so we're on a low priority list, and you can't tell me who's on the high priority list, of
No.
course. So that means that there's something, if I deduce this correctly, going on that requires the channeling rooms to be in use for the next month or so
Mm-hmm.
on a near continuous basis.
Mm-hmm.
Now that leads me to believe that means that we either got more people starting to channel, which wouldn't make sense, or those people who are channeling need more information on a constant basis.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. I really don't know. It's been kept in the black, as it were. I don't know. All I know is that my reports had something to do with it.
Oh. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, this isn't it. Oh, can we ask about the question we weren't able to ask last week that I was going to ask you?
Which question was that?
The one on Iraq. That Omal kind of shut me out on?
Refresh my memory.
Okay. Well, we never got to ask it, so Omal read my mind and said we'd deal with it this week. So,
Well, he's not in the room yet.
oh, good. Let's go with it.
Okay, try. Try me.
All right. Now, a week before, just around Tuesday before that.
Oh, the
that
defection thingies.
Yeah, the defection. One of the defectors, the guy.
Yeah, who's
Saddam's
responsible for the nuclear weapons
Nuclear
process.
weapon.
No, we can't discuss that.
Well, that's not. You're not sure what I'm asking, though, right?
I can hypothesize with a certainty of about 95%.
Okay.
You want to know how does that affect Iraq's capability to have a nuclear possibility?
The point that I'm making is the fact that he told the investigators who came to question him that Iraq had just canceled the planned invasion of Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, which had scheduled to happen just prior to his defection. But thanks to his defection, they had to cancel those plans.
Total blanket. Cover his butt.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Iraq still does not have the capability or is fully recovered to wage war.
Okay. So those troop movements they made were not in preparation for an imminent invasion.
They were done deliberately to test the response of the Allied nations, mainly one particular nation. Saddam Hussein is testing the water to see what sort of response he would get from the United States, to see if it would still be as rapid.
Well, he got a whole bunch of Marines landed in Kuwait the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I just was watching on the film, with a bunch of Marines landing.
It doesn't cost him much to move troops down there, but it does cost you a lot of money and a lot of time to transport troops to that area. It's very sensible, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, all it's showing is that,
That he's not afraid of you guys, that he will do troop movements to that area just to test the water, to drag half of your armed forces overseas, just for his pleasure. He gets a lot of kick out of watching America scrabble around to watch a third-rate nation. Think about it.
Well, I'm thinking that the world opinion on Saddam at that point is that, he's rattling his saber when he doesn't even have one.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes him look bad.
No, it doesn't. It makes him look good because the United States has fear of him invading, which makes him strong. If the United States sort of like went, yeah, you invade, we're going to kick your butt, and not respond, and he invades, the Saudi army is strong enough to hold him whilst the United States dispatches a force.
Mm-hmm.
The Kuwaiti nation, never mind.
They don't have an army.
That's right. Apart from the Palace Guard.
Right.
So you can write them off, but you can recapture them quite easily. So to go charging off in the event of a possible hypothetical invasion makes him look strong, because your country, your president, fears him invading an oil nation because of the dependency of oil that you have.
Well, also practically an election year, practically.
Mm-hmm. So therefore, he is making your president look like a fool by having to. How many times have they done supposed exercises in that area since the war?
The Gulf War? Numerous times.
Numerous times. It's like every 6 months they have exercises there.
We kind of got a treaty with them.
Mm-hmm. And it puts you in a very weak position.
Well, he might be doing the right thing then for himself.
Saddam Hussein, give him more credit than you give him, please. You don't give him very much credit, Russ.
Well, from what I understand, though, thanks to these defectors, his empire, his dictatorship, isn't hanging in there very well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's getting defections, having a lot of problems with these sanctions that are put on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the oil embargo. Well, the entire country.
Mm-hmm.
There's been, 3 or 4 political coup attempts since the war?
Well, what about, what's her name in the Philippines?
Marcos?
How many coup attempts has she had? I've lost count.
She's still in power?
Yeah. How many coup attempts does she have?
Well, I counted 5.
Mm-hmm. As opposed to 3? He's doing pretty good, I think. He's not a very nice person, but he's more politically astute than your president is.
He's been in power longer.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we're not going to sit
I
here
know.
and discuss the trivial happenings of a deranged, moronic dictatorship. Big words, huh?
Not bad. That dictionary about you's helping, huh?
A dictionary? I don't need a dictionary. You need the dictionary to become more eloquent.
I got Reader's Digest.
Oh, the abridged version of the dictionary. Everything from butterfly to xylophone is missing.
Yeah, but I got my alphabet down.
I've got mine down in 2 languages.
Hey, what about the astral projection tape we're supposedly keep putting on hold?
Yeah, we put it on hold for another week.
Another week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, Tia, you're on Mars? Is that where you are right now?
Yeah.
Are you the race that the government is holding secret?
No, I'm not.
A whole different culture that they don't know about?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Yes, I have slightly pointed ears, and I'm descended from... Come on, Joe. The bigger version.
Mm-hmm.
I have retractable fingernails, so watch it.
So, the race that the government has been holding secret, what are they all about? What are they doing?
I'm not cleared to discuss it.
Oh, okay.
You'd have to talk to somebody higher up. I am just a humble...
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be this, I can't remember the name of what they call them, but the entities that are seem to be running around on the planet visiting people, the ones with the slanted eyes, so to speak.
Oh, the little round guys with grey skin.
What do they call them?
I would just call them the gray guys.
No, they have a name. Anyway, quite a few people in the Mendocino area have been getting involved with them.
Mm-hmm.
And still to this very day, I've never been able to really depict it, whether they're a positive vibration or a negative vibration.
But they're third-dimensional entities.
They're third-dimensional entities that just happen to be visiting our planet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're just like you are. You or that poor excuse for a male there.
Well, so
I put up with this through
what is their purpose in their sudden interest as far as becoming so personal with so many people?
Fascination, anthropology, understanding by their own existence, your existence.
Okay, I can relate to that. So how come some of us have an affinity for them and some don't?
Past lives.
Past lives, oh.
You're not just bound to one planet.
Oh, I realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. So some of them really are descendants, relatives, so to speak.
Yes, in essence, yes.
Okay.
Well, the soul is co-inhabited, I suppose, their planet.
And, yeah, you could say that I'm related to you, to your species. I'm humanoid. Just because I have pointed ears and retractable fingernails and a little bump on my bottom where my tail would have been. In all other respects, I look very human, don't I, Russ?
You look better than most humans I've seen.
What do you want?
Who?
You! You're buttering me up.
I am not.
Don't you dare try buttering my paws. What do you want?
I'm really being complimentary. This is the thanks I get for being complimentary, so she can't take compliments.
So Tia,
She's
will I get to meet you?
You may see me floating around the house from time to time.
Good.
In the astral form.
Uh-huh.
Which means that you might not see me, but you feel me.
Have I met you before?
Not that I can recall.
Mm-hmm.
Not recently, any. Recently, I've kind of spied.
You did?
Mm-hmm. But that's only over the last day or so.
Uh-huh.
I'm just curious because, yeah, I like to protect my man.
Oh, no worry. I have a lot of integrity.
Mm-hmm. No.
No, I don't?
No, I'm saying no. I just like to know who he's hanging around with.
Oh, make sure I have a good, clean mind.
That doesn't matter whether you have a good, clean mind or not.
Oh.
It's more along the lines of positive or negative.
Uh-huh.
I just have to be sure, regardless of what Russ says. Karra.
So what did you decide? Am I okay?
Yeah, you're cool to do that.
Oh, thank you.
High
Nice.
praise indeed.
Hmm. So let's see, what can I ask you, Tia?
By the way, Linda here's got an allergy to cats.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. What I want to know is about that dude that keeps hanging around me that won't leave me alone. How does he, do you have any idea, is there any way that you can see what aspect of myself that he's courting to? Where my weaknesses, where he's getting to me?
There's probably a spirituality thing.
Spirituality?
Mm-hmm. Now we're talking about a spiritual entity, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know how to drive them away, don't you? Tell him to go. Back off.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's worked before.
And why isn't it working now?
Actually, because now that you've made me realize I haven't told him to leave.
That's right. Tell him to go.
I think I will. Piss off, you.
No, be nice about it. You have to be nice about it. No, not
No, you know what? It's really true because the last time that it happened, I had to get him go. That I got him to leave me alone, which was like 13 years ago, was by having a lot of integrity.
Yes, you
I
have.
had to have compassion for him
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of respect when I asked him to leave my space.
Yeah, but sometimes it is handy to have him around because he does protect you from time to time, does he not?
I'm not exactly sure that it's him that's protecting me.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody
How come
does.
he
Or
protects her if he's got her less than best interests at heart?
Because he doesn't want his property to be damaged.
mm-hmm.
Well, that makes sense.
So somebody does protect me.
Okay. We're probably new as protectors.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'm going to put on the next person.
Okay.
Get on.
Bye.
She'll be back. She's ring mistress.
Yes, let me crack. Oh, sorry. Greetings and felicitations, Mr. Hatfield. Greetings and felicitation, young lady.
Linda, I'd like you to meet Korton. Korton, of course.
Very quick on.
Greetings. Let us get this straight. Russ, who are you talking to?
It's not Korton.
Correct.
Ashtar.
Correct. Let us proceed. You have questions.
Yes, I do. First off, we're looking at increasing our role in informing people of Hades Base and Ashtar Command.
Whose is this?
Marks. Shall I dispose of her?
She is fine for the time being.
All right. Basically, what we're going to do is bring Ashtar Command into what we've been doing and let people know more or less, the future that lies ahead of them, and a little bit more preparedness would help in a long way. But I want to get an okay from you on whether or not this would be advisable at this time.
Discretion is always useful. It is necessary when spreading information not to tell the whole entire picture, due to the fact that sometimes this will put you at a disadvantage. If you word it in such a way, supposedly by saying that due to economic trends and social and economic activities, there is a high potential for civil unrest and disobedience.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now some more aspects of some of our tapes we do. Can we show more of a lighthearted side of Hades Space then also? right?
Yes, there is a light-hearted side.
Right, because oftentimes you hear when Ashtar, command is represented in the print, it's always represented as this, big military organization that, passes out information in very cut and dried form.
It is sometimes necessary to do that due to the fact of ease of understanding and also due to certain entities that read your periodical publications.
But, that's part of the truth. But the other truth is that there's a very, let's say, human side to Ashtar Command that isn't ever expressed.
That is something that sometimes is desirable not to mention due to the fact, again, of outside forces that would benefit from such knowledge.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so
if you wish in your publication that you are proceeding on, it might be necessary to paint a less militaristic outlook, a more humoristic outlook.
Okay, that's kind of what
I agree.
Blend it gently.
Right, that's kind of what I want to go for is where's my, one extreme compared to the other sort of things.
How you would word from one extreme to the other. I think it would be ill-advised to put down the activities that occur in the pyramid in the back accommodation of Mark. It also would be ill-advised to put down the tallies of certain pilot individuals for their confirmed alien encounters.
Okay, agreed. So beyond that, how about mentioning the fact the kids?
Yes, there are children here. And yes, it would be nice to have that in publication, but again, it must be done carefully, that there are young individuals here for their protection. You would not want to give certain forces key information and then lose your offspring.
Good point. Okay. And going to the other extreme, to the more heavier side, mentioning, of course, the fact that you do travel to the base every once in a while.
Correct.
And, your role is, watching over things going on.
Correct.
Okay. And so anything from that point on, and I'll clear that with Omal, and of course Karra will help me see the writing of that.
It would be nice to dispel the myth that I do not have a sense of humor. You may quote me on a joke.
Okay, you have one for me?
Not at this time,
Okay.
but I have said them in the past.
Yeah, I'll go back through the tapes and track them down.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. You.
Yes.
You. Wait till I get up there, darling.
Why? I warned you.
You said best behavior. With Korton and Omal, best behavior.
I took a risk even saying.
That's all right, darling.
With Ashtar, I took a big, big risk. I would have said it out loud that way.
So you're getting moved. You'll be in a nice room.
No, we're not getting moved.
Oh, you're not getting moved now?
No.
What happened? I thought you...
I refuse. I do have mind of my own, you know.
Oh, I know. I wasn't sure if you'd actually ever, take it that far.
Frank. Greetings, Russ.
Greetings, Omal. Actually, Omal, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, good. Well, do you remember Omal, don't you?
Greetings, Linda. It is a long time since we have communicated, is it not?
Yes.
And in those days, I did have an emotional link with my temporary host body, who did imbibe a little.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can be more articulate
Oh, nice.
instead of the occasional slur, which was not mine.
Mm.
I must clear that up.
Okay.
Oh, she was mentioning one time at the channeling session where Roger came up afterwards and said that you should say what you mean. And we're trying to remember if that was after the channeling session or if you said that.
I think that was me. It is necessary to communicate eloquently. It is also necessary to say what you mean. Somebody else could take a pointer from that. Not you, Russ.
Oh, well, I could anyway.
Yes, you could also.
Oh, well, we're working on it.
Instead of dancing around the issues.
All right. I done that pretty good with Ashtar, though. I mean, this is...
Well, he keeps you on the straight and narrow and he holds your mind with a pair of tweezers.
Well, that helps, too.
Pair of tweezers, you have to hold your delicate brain.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so we're not going to be dealing with you for a while, or...
Oh, I will be attending.
You will be going to the pyramid.
Yes.
Oh, so you'll keep the festivities down to a low roar, then.
Sometimes it is entertaining.
I suppose. Tapes sure get weird, though.
Yes, Tia panting.
Okay, well, that'll be fun. Okay, Linda and I were mentioning earlier yesterday concerning Merlin energy and the fact that she's been dealing with a lot on the underworld plane, where we've discovered we've put together that it's a sixth dimensional higher consciousness form that we're dealing with.
I didn't say that.
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
No.
You said we.
Oh.
Yes, we, that implies more than one person.
Okay. But anyway, that in combination with what we're working on now would be a step up then.
What did I say just now to answer your question? The answer was no, it is not.
Oh, it's not a step up.
It is not a six-dimensional space. It is a third-dimensional spirit level for more in-tune spirits.
Okay.
Entities that do exist and do have form on a spiritual level and beyond a spiritual level, where they can assume physical form.
Exactly. That's how I see it.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Paul. Excellent. Okay. And the rest of my notes here are on, I'm doing a little study on secret organizations working within our government and working to control that same, called the Illuminati. And the book is that I'm reading about it presents it as semi-fictional, but semi-non-fictional.
There is truth in literature. You just have to know where to look. It is like some of your myths and legends. There is truth based in them.
Well, as we're speaking like so-called
Oh, Mom.
King Arthur.
Yes.
How do you, what is your perception of Jose Arguelles?
Be careful with it.
Be careful.
Yes. Things sometimes are not as they appear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we're going to be working a little bit with Mayan energy coming up.
So, Omal, it seems that over the last 5 years, I've moved in and out of so many different areas that I've come to a place of non-focus at this point.
We did warn you.
You did?
Yes. If you remember in channeling sessions, we stressed the importance of focus.
Well, I did focus on each aspect, but I'm not focusing now. Is there a reason why I'm not focusing, or is it?
It is because you have focused on many things and have not focused continually on one thing.
I don't like to do that.
It is necessary sometimes. If you remember, we said that hard choices to focus on. Look at the hard choices and focus on them. She bears a similarity to Korton's cat.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the age. Also like Korton's cat.
That's the first time she'd been down yet, really, to spend time with us.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
So what you suggest or see is the focus in me being here with Mark and Russ at this time in my life.
It is necessary to learn information on all possibilities and to make a decision. It is necessary to look at what benefits you, what your abilities lie in, and thus communicate with the individual that has a knowledge in a particular field, or has access to that field.
You were going to ask about what happened prior to before. When you almost...
When I almost croaked.
Yeah.
No one knows why.
It was at that point that you started to lose your focus, was it not?
That's sort of a half-truth because, yeah, no, totally, you're right, yes. Yes, I did, totally.
And the reason why you lost your focus and almost passed away?
Next question.
Yes.
Um,
It is in there.
I guess the oddest aspect of the whole thing was that the day that Russ and I left Sedona and headed back towards California, that in particular day, I could feel myself driving towards an energy that was not positive.
Mm-hmm.
I could feel there was a part of me that didn't want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And
So it was a fear of what was unknown, a fear of something that you had experienced in the past that was negative, that you wished not to confront again.
yes, exactly. I didn't feel like driving back into what I'd left.
But sometimes it is necessary to face one's fears. And by facing one's fears and being tested to the limit, one can come back stronger.
True.
But coming back stronger does take time, and it is necessary to focus on particular strengths that you have.
What would you call one of my particular strengths?
You know very well what your strengths are.
To have so many.
What is your strongest? Yes, that is a good one. Healing.
Empathy and the power of thought, I'd say.
Right. But your healing strength is even stronger than those. But you keep them bottled up because you're not sure.
True. A little lazy probably too.
That is the nature of your species. And the easy path. But sometimes the easy path is not the path to walk then.
Mm-hmm.
Because it may appear easy and not too challenging, you progress very slowly. Whereas if something is challenging, take for example riding a two-wheeled object.
Mm-hmm.
At first it is hard and then it becomes easier.
Mm-hmm.
And then you progress on to climbing up hills and riding down steep and narrow paths. And you become very strong, and physically you become more endurable.
True. Don't you think that I sort of have my attitude is a little
Lackadaisy.
no, impatient, more
Mm.
impatient in reference to my healing. It's sort of after 15 years, you just sort of, I've gained an attitude where I just want to know the answer that I can create it just be an instant where
But you do not learn from that. It is necessary to remember that knowledge is to be looked for. It is like
Mhm.
looking for personal wealth. How do you achieve that?
so each healing is a knowledge experience, it's a
Correct.
learning experience.
Correct. Next question, please.
Are we destined to repeat our failures?
If you do not learn from them, you will.
What about with me and Mark in our past life? That was a failure.
Have you learned from them?
Well, I think we're learning now.
Do you still get hostile towards each other? Do you still try to fight each other's brains and serve them up to each other?
No, we definitely don't do that anymore.
But your competitiveness,
Yes, well, that's
that is very necessary.
right. I agree. That's the lesson we're learning in that respect.
Yes. The competitive nature that you have, who is the better skier? Who is the better sailor? Who is the better computerized pilot?
True.
Another learning experience.
Correct. That the competitive nature is very healthy.
Okay.
And who is the better sailor?
Right now,
Better skier?
we're sort of, right now I'm the better skier.
Yes, but you do have an advantage.
Yes, Mark doesn't have the need for it.
But when he wishes to, he can ski circles around you.
Correct.
But unfortunately, he pays the price,
Right.
which is another learning lesson.
Hmm.
So, Omal, there I have a question for you right there.
Mhm.
Talking about Mark's knees, for example. If he's been laying under this pyramid for such a long time, as I know he has, then his meridians must be really well open and endowed and full with lots of light energy. So it's hard for me to conceive why his knees are weak.
Due to several factors. One is of damage that was inflicted by a projectile object. Another due to the fact of his dimension jumps. Is
Uh-huh.
for the period of time that he is not in his body does not rejuvenate itself or heal itself at a very normal speed. And I say very normal, as everybody's bodies heal at the same rate all the time. You cut yourself, it takes 3 days to heal. For 16 hours out of each day, instead of taking 3 days to heal, or 16 hours worth of healing, that does not happen. For each day of 8 hours that Mark is holding his body heals. And it does not heal at the speed that would be normal, due to the fact that when you rest, your healing processes speed up, and when you're active, they slow down. When Mark rejoins his body, he is already active, so his healing process is already slow, so that it slows down until he rests. Unfortunately, when he rests, he astral travels.
So he never really rests.
That is correct. So therefore, his healing process is drawn out over a much longer time, and in that time, more damage is done.
Mm-hmm.
So those knees are degenerating.
But it is part of the hereditary illness he suffers from.
Is there anything I can do for him?
Unfortunately for the hereditary illness, no. It is something that he must cope with and learn from.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have no more.
No more
It's
questions?
so good to see you again, Love.
Yes, it is. And remember what I said. It is important.
To receive and see things as a lesson
Correct.
and focus.
Focus, yes. Select on what you wish to focus for. You have a healer. You have an astral traveler. Both have other abilities. Russ,
Mm-hmm.
your ability is manifestation, if you remember.
Manifestation, coercion,
Mhm.
light coercion.
Mhm. Hold out your hand. Do it for me. 1 penny, please.
1 penny coming up.
Live long, prosper, and I'll be back. My penny, please.
Let me check my pocket. Farewell, Omal.
We'll be back.
Thank you. So Omal's gonna keep you in line, huh?
Keep me in line? That's sad.
Well, that's good.
Yes, the natives were restless tonight, weren't they?
No.
And also, can I ask a question?
Yeah, far away.
Can you tell me who's on trial down in Los Angeles?
OJ? Or the men.
That's who I thought it was. I thought it was OJ, but it seems to me that it's some police officer, Mark Thurman.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Who's on trial?
Well, it's funny you should mention that, as a matter of fact. Because of the fact that this isn't just a trial on Mark Furman, but a trial on the racism of the LA Police Department, which has been issued for many, 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 many years.
I thought it was a trial of somebody murdering 2 individuals.
Yeah, I know. Well, oftentimes things lose their focus.
Yes, I think this has tremendously.
You're right.
Okay.
All right.
Greetings and felicitations for us.
Greetings, Korton.
And how are you functioning?
Functioning very well, actually.
Greetings, Linda, and how are you functioning?
Better today, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. What a weird night. I'm sorry. But
That is quite all right.
I'm shifting gears right and left here.
Yes, I believe she does that for her entertainment.
I think she does too.
She
Tia. She's in charge of putting on whoever she wants to. The order that she wants to. Leaves us a little bit disoriented sometimes.
Yes, her sense of humor pleases her.
I'm sure she's rolling in the corner right now.
No, she is purring.
Okay. Alrighty. Questions I have concern first off is communication.
Mm-hmm.
And that is regarding speaking from the heart. Bringing my conversations and using it from not just my mind, but further down.
Here is a trick.
Okay.
When you address an individual, address Linda, please, and do what I tell you to do.
Okay.
Look at her directly in the eyes, smile, and say hello.
Hello.
And what is Linda's response?
She's kind of looking at me.
Yes, but how is her facial features?
Kind of like the Mona Lisa.
I'm smiling back at you and looking you in the eyes.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Right. Well, the Mona Lisa smiled too.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Enigmatic, I believe. First of all, you put them in a relaxed frame. Also, by smiling, it projects from the heart. It puts you relaxed as well. If you look at somebody and put a frown on your face, it puts them on their guard.
Ah. So in other words, even in a stressful situation, you by smiling not only brings you a little less stress, but brings the person you're talking to less stressed.
That is correct.
What if you are stressed though? You just force a smile, kind of?
Correct. But it has to look natural, not as if it is forced.
Oh, I see.
Because it gives you command of the situation.
Ah. Okay.
I take it that the elderly feline has left.
Well, she's looking out the window right now. Right by
And she is off of the monitor at present. So.
Yeah, she's out of the pyramid. Okay. Looks a lot like your cat, huh? Your cat did the same thing?
Yes.
Omal was telling us about him.
Her.
Her. All right.
Apart from she does talk.
Okay.
How was...
your computer collection.
It is expanding.
Good. I just got a computer down here, which you'd probably see as a pretty nice antique.
Yes, probably.
But for us, it's top of the line.
You have no more questions, I take it.
Well, I wanted to ask you some more about what I was talking to Ashtar about. Because when Ashtar, is talking, I don't like to get too many details. I know he's busy.
Yes.
But in response to the communications for this journal, in how it should be presented, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the presentation that I wish to do.
Write clearly. Write precisely. Do not use wishful thinking.
Well, what I was thinking of is just using some of the transcribings that we have from some of these sessions.
That would work.
Okay. Now, the trick will be is going through and finding particular sections that would blend in with each other to make a cohesive article.
It is necessary to pick a subject and to look at one subject. It is wasteful to cover a wide variety of subjects due to the fact that you lose in essence. Remember, they will edit. So you have to keep it full of information, concise and accurate.
Okay. What I was thinking of doing was starting off with, the basic introduction to Hades base and a few of the people who will be read about during the transcribing. And I would like you say, pick a subject. I was thinking like Atlantis.
Do not use so many individuals. Select 3 individuals, no more.
Okay.
Plus yourself as the questionnaire. When referring to questions asked by other people, use your name instead. If you have too many people, then it will be confusing.
I see.
For example, Skip asked such and such a question. Linda asked such and such a question. Answer, answer. Russ asked such and such a question. Answer. Skip asked a question. Answer. Russ asked a question. Answer. Linda, see it as confusing. Instead of Russ asked a question, answer. Question, answer. Question, answer. Or you can take many people.
So just do a QA.
Correct.
I see what you're talking about. Because things where yourself or Ashtar might have been answering a question, we'll just set it down as Omal.
Correct.
I see. And then on Atlantis.
Correct.
And then, each subject on a different thing. I like it. That'll work. That'll save me having to work at a long introduction to it.
Correct. That is very important. Remember, if you have a 10-page article, they will halve it,
Really?
at least.
Let me use my computer and work it out so it's readable.
No more than 10 pages.
Okay. Well, I'll be lucky to get 10 pages on some of these article subjects that we look on.
Okay.
That's all I have. Linda, do you have anything?
I was just curious about one thing.
Okay.
Was I with Mark and
It is possible that you were in a past life.
hmm. I was wondering if I was hanging out with the two of you in Atlantis. If I knew you in that time period.
That's you.
Right.
Remember Linda from that time period?
I have mental restraints in. Most of them are gone, but there are a few still in place.
Oh, that's Karra. You might get an answer out of Karra. Because if you were there, you're on my side of the family, not Mark's.
Yeah, she's got that silly look on her face.
So quite a order of appearances tonight there, don't we? We get all three heavies in one night. Oh, Omal's not that heavy. Hi, Kiri.
Yo!
Yo, do that. What up?
What up? Something will be later on.
Kiri, I get him cheap.
Hello, Linda.
Jesus. Linda, this is Kiri.
Yo!
Kiri the crazy.
Get there!
Hey.
Hey, what's happening? How's it hanging, sis?
Hanging great, baby.
Coolness. I got told I had body of an 18-year-old, and when I give it back, I said no, I'm going to keep her in my closet.
Well, I thought she was supposed to do the challenge next week for the monastery.
Going to keep her in my closet. Besides, I didn't say which 18-year-old.
That's true. Alright, darling, I've got a design for you to check out.
Okay.
Since you were the one who helped us get this little
That's right.
spurt going.
See, I opened his eye. I'm smart and clever. Hello, Pussycat. Yes, I know who you are. You going to talk? Oh, you do talk, don't you?
Alright. Top picture is the basic outline of the entire car. Bottom picture is the drivetrain itself.
Sorry, I can't comment. That would be helping.
Oh.
But I'm going to extend the deadline. I'm going to give you until the end of September.
Oh, great. I've got all of what? 4 days?
End of September.
Oh, okay, good. 34 days.
Dude, you are slow.
Oh, excuse me.
No, I won't excuse you.
Alright.
Yes, you do look a little bit like Korton's cat. Apart from Korton's cat doesn't have a ruddy eye.
Okay, so we're allowed 3 rubber bands, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all balsa.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to carry an egg for how much distance? It's an experiment she gave us.
Let's say 100 feet over smooth terrain.
100 feet?
Mm-hmm.
I got a feeling this isn't going to work.
I mean, you have a feeling that you can't figure that.
I have a feeling that she's got something up her sleeve that she's not telling you. For example, there is a way to do it, and I have to think a little bit harder on this to come up with the idea that 100 feet will make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is designed for 10 feet. Has to stay on the ground?
It has to transport an egg 100 feet, or the nearest to 100 feet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Mhm. I can read your thoughts like a book.
Well, small microfiche, maybe.
Very small book. A short story. In the beginning, there was Russ. He
The end.
grew up, reached adulthood, the end. Very short story.
Reborn. Earth. Sixth dimension. Or Sirius, whichever comes first.
You ought to have a sticker put on your fender. Serious or bust.
Okay, so this will be an interesting little experiment. 100 feet.
Mm-hmm. Do you have questions for me?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. They keep flying through my mind so quickly.
Well, there goes one. Too slow.
You're just so entertaining here.
There goes another one. Your question is, who's going to make a fuss of you next? I don't know. You'll have to talk to Tia. Is that better? Now, what was Tia doing? She was right there, was it? Right there. There.
Mm.
You're having fun, aren't you, there? God, your breasts and piglets of prayer coming off of you.
What, Pegasus has fur shedding all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Pegasus is a cat up there, apartment.
Mm.
Yes, he flies.
Mm.
Well, wait, how was your trip to...
It's fun. It's fun. I had a very busy time. I wish I had more time to relax. Oh, fine.
So, what's the word on Leonedies? He's still pretty quiet.
Yeah, he's got a lot to think about. Grandmother wouldn't tell me what they talked about.
That's her son, Markham.
Leonedies,
His
yes.
son.
Mm-hmm.
The resident super operator of the Hades base.
Well, you're coming back, are you? Okay. Yes. One smart cookie.
So he hasn't imparted to you then what he was.
No, he seems to be dwelling on it. Just him there going. And you're not quite sure if he's thinking or filling his nappy. So I have to sniff to make sure. It's not a very pleasant job.
I bet. Well, how's Alex taking all this?
And Alex is having fun.
Oh,
He can tease his brother and get away with it.
well, that's true. Those were being mind zapped.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's funny watching him. He's sort of like lean over and look and he's sitting up in his little basket and he's going. You ask him, have you just filled your nappy? And he goes,
Oh, weird way to spend your day.
well, he doesn't do it continually.
Oh, that's good.
Probably.
I don't think I've ever seen him do anything this hard before. He just comes around and blurts out Einstein's theories and how they don't make any sense. Or they're all false.
Who says that?
Leonedies.
His famous comment was talking about Einstein's theory of relativity, that everything is relative to the observer in time and space.
Right.
And he explained that that's total bunk due to the fact of travelling beyond the speed of light in the astral
becomes too
form.
prevalent, right?
In the astral form, you can.
Mm-hmm.
And he went on to explain. You'd have to ask Mark because
Tell Linda how old Leonedies is.
nearly 6 months. No,
6 months?
over 6 months.
Mm.
Let's see, he was born in February, The 27th, and it's now August, so that
Another
would be.
place. Same day as me and Mark.
Mhm.
Be quite
So
a birthday
it's-
party
it'd
next
be
year.
Yeah, 6 months. It's 6 months away to your birthday, right?
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what it was like in 6 years.
I know, I can't hardly imagine.
Just proving Einstein's theory, it's like, that's in 6 months.
Mm-hmm. You also disproved Stephen Hawking's theory about black holes.
I remember that one.
Mm-hmm. Discussing critical mass of a black hole.
I know, I didn't hit 6 months. I was thinking, why is the sky blue?
Mhm.
You could answer that for you too if you ask him. If you can get him to stop thinking about what he's thinking about.
He's probably gonna one day just suddenly just go, okay, I've got it. Here it is. Tech for the next 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We've even handed back the recording device that we keep beside his bed.
I'm good.
Yeah.
No point keeping it there. He's not
No.
saying anything.
That's right. Who are you looking at, Feline? Oh, well, okay.
All right, Dylan. Your sister coming on next?
I've got to go and attend to my urges. Bye.
Bye, hon. All right, Tia.
Oh, well.
You're crazy.
There she is.
Okay. We got at least time for Karra.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, though.
I'll be back. Don't worry. Hello.
Hello, my love.
Hello.
First voice of sanity I've heard.
Sanity?
Oh, in the last 10 minutes, anyway. Karra likes to meet Linda. Linda, this is my love of my life.
Okay, Russ has told you what I do.
Yes.
As he puts it, I'm an awesome healer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better than Russ could possibly imagine.
Somehow I have a sense of that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, patience is a very important virtue being a healer. Very important. To heal takes time and energy. Understanding the human body, or any body, takes time. It is necessary to be patient when healing. You cannot charge into healing because if you do more harm than good.
So it's an exact science.
Healing
No,
in
it
my
is not an exact
experiences
science.
is tininess of the essence.
Yes,
It's synchronized.
correct. It is a precise science. Very precise.
So I have a question. What's the surest way of aligning chakras on a human being?
Quitting smoking.
Quitting smoking? I
Yes.
didn't mean me in particular.
I said that I wouldn't, but I changed my mind, Russ.
Okay, alright, fine.
Mm-hmm. Smoking is a very bad habit, but as to chakras,
Oh,
it is necessary to work on each individual chakra first before aligning them. It was explained last week that it is necessary to take the crown chakra and the
Mhm.
brow chakra, have those spinning at the same revolution.
mm-hmm.
For you, I should say it's probably about 17 RPM.
Mm-hmm.
You align them. They spin at different speeds. One may spin faster than 17 RPM and one may be spinning lower. Or both are spinning lower.
Mm-hmm.
It is necessary to bring them up in frequency. But you have to visualize the chakras in order to get the revolutions correct. You have to visualize them harmonizing at that 17 RPM.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm beginning to do.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to look on my chakras. Don't go outside.
And what about if you're approaching another human being? If you were healing another human being, how would you go about doing that?
You would slow them so that they're within 2 or 3 RPM of each other, or speed them up as necessary.
Uh-huh.
But it takes time and patience and practice. You cannot do it very successfully unless, of course, yours are in tune.
Uh-huh, yeah.
You have to keep constantly tuning and adjusting your chakras so that they run at a constant speed. They do not do that naturally. You have to adjust them, and using the mechanical term my sister would use, tweak them every so often.
Mm-hmm.
It is necessary to do so.
Is this something that a person should do every day when they wake up? For a minute?
To start off with, yes, but after a period of time, it becomes unnecessary, and it may be once a week or once a month that you have to do that very fine adjustment to keep them running in true. Occasionally, due to illness or anxiety or other mental phenomena, it will be necessary to adjust them again.
Mm-hmm.
Again, with development, if you develop beyond the point of 17 RPM, you have to adjust them to a higher frequency, and again, this takes time, and you have to do them in pairs or individually in the case of the root chakra.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Wow.
I noticed today, Karra, that you had me working with my energies and being able to direct energies out through my hands.
It is something that you need work on.
Okay, now, we're working on tapping energies. Okay. So as I recall, the energies we're tapping today was Earth and Solar.
Mm-hmm.
And bringing them into, a central point
Mm-hmm.
in which they can then be collected and sent out through the arms.
Correct.
Okay. Now, the technique you showed me today was in, it was like a tree, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
Roots down and they come back up, leaves out and go back down and connect up with the roots.
Correct.
And then those spin around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, the energy then you're pulling up in through the roots and in through the leaves, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then focal point, if I'm getting this right, is at the heart?
Correct. The midpoint.
The midpoint. Okay. Now, what's that going to do to your heart chakra? Isn't that going to make it spin a little bit faster than the rest?
As a rule, the heart chakra is a very unstable chakra.
Okay.
It would be a variable chakra. It does not keep to a high frequency or a low frequency. It vibrates in between. By having it at a steady frequency,
Mm-hmm.
by having energy coming in from both above and below, it steadies it. It also wobbles
That's how I do it.
as it works.
Oh, so that's what I was doing today. I was steadying my heart chakra.
Yes. It is like a warped record.
Now, what was the interesting thing that was happening to me when I do it, the side effect,
Mm-hmm.
was that when I would create that energy balance, my mind would click into a higher degree of
That
calmness.
is because it is the midpoint between all the other chakras. See, the legs are irrelevant. If you cut your legs off,
Mm-hmm.
your heart is in the middle. You do not have any major chakras of importance, although all chakras are of importance, but lesser chakras we do not concern ourselves about at this time. We will work on them at a later time.
I see. Okay. So what are the other benefits of balancing your energy like that to yourself, besides what you're going to do with
Being more in tune with your own energy supply, being able to increase the loop.
Mm. Now, that was my other question was, considering the negative feedback loop.
It works on the principle of energy can pass through the blockage, because when your heart chakra wobbles, it is not a constant pattern.
Right.
So therefore, when the energy leak comes through,
Mm-hmm.
it is deflected. Only a fraction, but it is deflected. By having a steady platform,
Right.
it can pass through cleanly.
So let me get this straight. Okay. So prior to initiating a negative feedback loop, you create this energy balancing field from directing energy from above and below.
Correct.
Then you create the sphere of energy in front of you.
And then you start the loop.
Suck that into your lower chakra, bring it back through your top and back through the sphere again.
Correct.
In a circle. Okay. Now, at what point do you then direct it into your third eye?
At the point that it reaches the maximum brilliance and the maximum speed.
Okay. And the last time I did that, it hurt like a mother bear.
It is meant to.
And I haven't done it since then.
It is enlarging your
Yeah, but
capacity.
it hurt. Son of a bitch.
That is the work that it's doing. You don't do it often to start off with because of the pain threshold. But gradually, as the pathways are enlarged and are worked upon, you can do it longer and longer and longer.
Okay.
But watch out for the smell of burning. This is not your brain overworking. It is your your pathways being scorched, which is something you do not wish for. Because if they're scorched, they get cauterized and cannot be enlarged, and you dead end yourself. You will not progress on further.
On a third dimensional sense, that you're not talking about actual smell of scorching.
No,
What are we talking about?
it is a feeling of scorching.
Oh.
On a spiritual level, you can smell it.
Yeah, and I've had experiences where I've actually
Mm-hmm.
felt it and smelt it. Yeah. Yeah.
There is an example of pathways that have been scorched beyond repair. They have been enlarged to the maximum size that they can be enlarged to because they have been scorched and have cauterized and cannot be enlarged anymore.
Does that happen to Linda?
In certain places, yes.
My heart
Your heart.
once.
Well, what does that do to her at that point?
It means that the capacity cannot be enlarged. What were you working on at the time?
Kundalini.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is a very tricky thing to do.
Right.
There is a thing called the Kundalini Zap, where you can actually project an energy bolt and burn something. You will never be able to do that, which may be fortuitous. It can be used as a defense mechanism in dire need, but now, unfortunately, you will never be able to use it.
Well,
I'm sorry to be the bearer of sad news.
it's alright, I don't have to believe it.
Now, unfortunately, it is fact. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I feel that it's been repaired. The damage.
Mm-hmm. It has been repaired, but it cannot be enlarged.
Well, then that would put a limit on my healing.
Unfortunately, yes, but we can circumvent those by other methods.
You can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It is very long and complicated, and I really don't want to go into it this time. I do not have my full notebook with me, as half the pages were torn out
Mm-hmm.
when I threw it on the floor a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically, we can work on that in a future date, though.
Yes, but there are ways to circumvent it. It is using other abilities, which unfortunately would be altered and changed to be of a more useful nature for healing. So therefore, it is a matter of selecting which abilities that you have that you do not wish to have in that capacity, but have it altered into a state where it is similar to a healing state.
Hmm.
Anyway, I'm being paged again. Yes, this has happened frequently just recently.
Oh,
So
Oh,
I
damn.
must go.
okay.
You have
I forgot to thank Kiri for her present.
never mind. But I have to depart, and congratulations, Russ. I'll see you later.
Thank you, darling. And the father again. Well, I conceived a male child of that.
You've conceived another child?
Another child.
You don't look pregnant to me.
Oh, anyway, thank Kiri for her present and see her. I forgot.
What did she get you?
She got me a kaleidoscope
Oh,
with the Earth. It's a fragmented image. It's pretty beautiful. Battery operated though.
hey, she likes her batteries.
No.
Yes.
So, is there anything I can do for any of you up there?
It's more the opposite way around.
Well, I know that's how it appears, but everything goes two ways.
Mm-hmm.
Everything flows in both directions.
Patience. Patience. Just keep your eyes open and look for the most precious jewel of all.
Most precious jewel of all.
The most precious treasure you can find.
You mean in physical form or within myself?
It can be physical.
So within myself.
It can be both. Within yourself and without or outside yourself. There is something that is so precious.
For me?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Well, for anybody, actually.
Hmm.
It's the most precious treasure there is. Without it, all others are irrelevant.
The Holy Grail. So I was asking Mark earlier.
You could call it your species Holy Grail.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. A riddle.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we're coming.
I won't tell Mark what it is, but ask him the riddle, see if he can answer it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how's the Cubs doing?
We're doing fine.
Good. What's your latest escapade? Anything Mark hasn't kept me.
We have a mouse farm in the room.
What?
A mouse farm.
A mouse. I've heard of ant farms. I don't think I've ever heard of a mouse farm before.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Mark helped to build it.
What's better than that?
Mm-hmm.
An Ashtar farm.
10 feet long, 4 foot high, and it had burrows in there, and there's about 8 different families in there. The mice. Nice happy gene pool.
Does the channeling go in both directions? Do entities on your planet channel spirits from this planet that they get information from as well?
We have the people that deal with the spiritual aspect, yes.
Mm-hmm. So it's not like the knowledge goes in one direction or one way. It goes in both directions. It flows in both directions?
Yes, from many sources.
Mm-hmm. And is your government similar to our government?
We don't have a government.
You have no government.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We have a council.
A council.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Of which you met 3 of the members this evening.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Are any of
And
them
all
female?
had deep voices.
Are they also male?
It is,
That's a question. Is all the councils male?
no. I would say 1/3 is male, 1/3 is female, and 1/3 is of other persuasion or other gender.
Gender.
What would that mean? Other gender.
Alienation.
Alien. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It was a council of 12.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it like living on Mars where there's no trees?
We live underground.
The trees underground?
Mm-hmm.
And rivers and ponds and lakes?
Mm-hmm.
Swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
Mountains to ski on.
Big lake.
Mm-hmm. With dolphins in it and very good fishing at the moment.
Salmon.
Getting time to the spawning season.
Mm-hmm.
Where do they go to spawn?
They go up to the they go up the cliff face. There was a ladder for them to climb up.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So do you communicate with entities on other planets in our galaxy?
Yes.
What planets might those be?
The Centauri base. There's
On the planet
Sirius.
Sirius base. There's base near my home planet, Veronica. There's lots of them.
And what about in our solar system?
There's just the one base.
Only Mars and Earth are the only two planets that
Are inhabited, yes,
Uh-huh.
by sentient life forms.
sent.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I'm quite curious about the planet Neptune. Is there anything you can tell me about that? Is there
It's
anything?
cold.
Is there anything alive on?
No,
No.
not on Neptune. It's a gas cloud.
How about the moons?
No,
No.
they're too far out. Triton has, is it Triton? Could be one of the moons orbiting Neptune. Does have an atmosphere and there is potential for life there, but more I cannot say.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
So
be careful what I say sometimes.
this might seem like a really dumb question, but considering that everyone on this planet is so curious about the face that was found on the planet of Mars, the face that looks like the Egyptian pyramid. This means she's not answering you?
That means you're in a gray area.
Why?
It means that would give away too much.
And it would take away from learning. I'm sorry to have to do it like that.
I don't understand how it can take away from learning if someone asked the question when that is learning.
Giving the answer sometimes subtracts from the experience gained from research and searching within oneself.
Do you want me to go inside and ask you the question inside myself? Is that
What
you're
feels
saying?
right? What feels right?
I don't know. I never thought that I would actually investigate it. I thought, considering it was on your planet, that I would ask.
It's not my planet. I just live here.
Well, for the time being, yeah.
She just gets up and wanders away, doesn't she?
This people in here.
It's very, very moving around tonight.
Don't kick her out.
Almost. So how goofy.
Oops, mustn't do that. I get into trouble doing that. I can't help it. I'm happy and content.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So then that means I can answer my most favorite question in the world.
And what is your most favourite?
My biggest curiosity right now is the Sphinx in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so curious as to whether they're
Related.
Your place on Mars in space.
Are they? That is what you're asking, correct?
well, no.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, that isn't what I was asking.
Mm-hmm.
In my heart, somehow I already know that that's true. But I'm curious as to whether the foot of the Sphinx is going to be a major key in what happens to the evolution of our planet. If indeed there is information or scrolls or
I don't have access to that information, unfortunately.
That's the most physical thing on our planet that's happening. It has my curiosity.
Not the pyramids.
No, I understand the pyramids.
Have you talked to the architect?
Well, either somewhere in a past life I have, but I have a sense of them. I don't know. I have a sense of them.
Do you know where they are?
The pyramids?
No, the architects. Or one of the architects.
I know that they're from a different place in space. From a different galaxy.
No.
No?
They're local.
They're in a local galaxy. And I know that they're monitoring and keeping close contact with what we're doing at this time. I know that they...
But do you know where one of the builders is?
You mean as in one entity, one person?
Yeah, one of the people that built one of the Great Pyramid on your planet.
No?
If you find him, ask him the questions.
All right. I'll do that.
And he may be closer than you think.
I told her today.
You spoiling my fun!
I can't help it. She doesn't remember, so it wasn't.